Thursday, coming at you with another Facebook Live Ask Karen here on this Thursday. If you have any questions, pop them through the panel. Now, what I'm going to be diving into today, it's mainly going to be for real estate agents, but also investors are going to get a massive amount of value here. And it's kind of playing both sides because I'm going to be talking about the shifts that are going on. You guys have probably seen some new laws come out that have been floating around Facebook everywhere around Illinois enacting a law that's making traditional wholesaling illegal. And it's funny, interesting / kind of like weird where some people, especially the newer ones, are kind of freaking out a little bit. And I want to dive into this a little bit. We're actually going to do a full webinar on it here in the next 2-3 weeks on that topic. We're bringing on some amazing investors and an attorney to talk about it because it's not as big of a deal as people are making it seem. But that's one more kind of indication, one more thing on how the industry is shifting. And guys and gals, there's certain ways. I'm actually going to share this up on my personal thing real quick. Cool. We got it shared up on my personal one. There, bam. There's certain ways, y'all, that as you're going through the next year, the next 2 years, the next 3 years in this market, whether you're an agent or an investor, that if you don't make these shifts, you're going to be struggling a little bit. You're going to be on the path of commoditization. And you're going to be on the path of, if you're not already, of your commissions getting compressed if you're an agent or if you're an investor, potentially making it harder to find certain deals. But on the flip side of it, I actually see more opportunity for the savvy investors and savvy agents who do what I'm about to tell you about here, who see the shift happening. I'm not talking about a market shift. I'm not talking just about, hey, we're at the top end of this market. What do you do during a down cycle? Okay, which that's something we're going to have to also deal with. But there's two things happening right now. There's two different shifts happening, and that's why this is special and interesting. Because the last downturn in 2007, 8, 9, and on through the next 5 years or so, that was a recession. Okay, that was another thing. But now we have two different things. We have the real estate at the top end of the market starting to move into a phase of a softening. Some markets will see a pullback likely. Okay, and at the same time, we have technology coming in. We have technology starting to disrupt part of the markets. Now, I've talked about this quite a bit recently, and here's the deal, y'all, is right here. Is this working, Brady? On my end, it's showing that it hasn't gone live yet. Could you guys see this pop through the comments section?
You are on YouTube, Facebook 7, an issue.
Okay, cool. If you guys are on YouTube, awesome. Pop questions through. Let us know that you can see us. But essentially, you've got two different things here. You've got the retail side and the wholesale side, right? And that's where so many agents and investors have been operating from different sides of the paradigm, and is they've been thinking that you guys are competitors. At the end of the day, y'all, I don't think you're competitors. I think you guys should be joining forces. I've been saying this for years, that agents should be investors, investors should be agents, or at least collaborate with them heavily. Now, why is this important? This is important because where the market is being shifted right now, we're seeing that there's a lot of inefficiencies in the real estate transaction, right? And that's been going on for decades. There's a lot of inefficiencies in the real estate transaction where you have to work with someone who has this license in order to then, in order to get a property on the MLS. But most sellers don't want to have to wait 30, 60, 90 days, even 6 months to sell the property for a fair price, right? Most sellers, if they could choose, would much rather choose a fair cash offer and close in a week or two and be done with it. Like almost every seller, probably 100% of sellers would choose that option as long as the offer is fair. And so that's what's happening here in the middle. Is the wholesale side traditionally works with sellers who are willing to sell really, really fast and take a discount in order for speed and convenience, right? That's where wholesalers and flippers have came into that market. It's speed and convenience in exchange for a discounted offer, but you move fast. Solve the seller's problem quickly. Over here on the retail side, it's more like, hey, cool, we'll be able to get you the most cash in your pocket probably, but you're gonna have to wait for it. And so the tech giants and open door offer pads, they're coming in the middle and saying, what if we can kind of bridge the gap and do a little bit of both? You know, what if we can give you speed and convenience, but also make it look like a more mainstream transaction? So that's where we're stuck in the middle right now. And so as agents are getting their commissions compressed because of these changes, and that's where you see your EXPs pop up and your big block realties pop up and Compass, where all these other solutions are popping up for for these types of brokerages, you're seeing them pop up because agents' commissions are getting compressed and they're going, shoot, we need to learn how to actually get more of our commission back, i.e. let's switch over to one of these cloud-based brokerages where we're able to get more commission back. You're going to see more and more of that. So the traditional brokerages are going to have to shift. If you're in Century 21 or Keller Williams or any of those, I know Keller Williams is starting to get ahead of the curve, but most of the other ones, you guys are going to be left in the dust if you don't learn to start to how to make more money, make your commissions so they don't compress, and or make sure that your brokerage is serving you to build authority. Now I'm going to talk about authority. So how do you win during this transition where there's more competition than ever and the tech side of things is disrupting things? Well, the way that you win is you specialize and build authority. Okay, you specialize and build authority. If you look, y'all, at the way that Zillow won the market. Okay, the way that Zillow won the market as far as online leads goes. What's up, Brady? What's up, Dylan? The way that Zillow won the market as far as online leads goes is they went after Google search first. They said, we know every single day there's a ton of people going online, because that's where most of us are using this right here. A ton of people going online and researching for the properties that they're looking for, researching for how to sell the property, researching for all kinds of stuff. Okay, and they said, if we can get in front of that, then we can control the market. But most other agents saw Zillow doing that and going, shoot, Zillow's taking that over. Let me go over here and just do social now. And that's kind of been the last 5-6 years where agents have been going all in on Facebook and Instagram. And I love Facebook and Instagram. We use them. I'm on Facebook right now. Okay, I love those tools. But the problem, there's a massive flaw, y'all. There's a massive flaw. And I'm going to be talking about what that massive flaw is down here. If you're primarily focusing on your content going on Facebook and Instagram, if that's all that you're going to do, it's going to be really hard to battle Zillow in the long run. I'm going to tell you guys why. Okay. So those who specialize and build authority, you're going to win. You're going to make it so you're not a commodity. You're going to make it so your commissions don't get compressed, but they actually start to solidify, maybe even go up. And you're not going to die that slow death that I think a big hunk of agents will over the next 10 to 20 years. And now I know there's going to be some people that are saying, hey, they're saying, hey, Trevor, are you just saying, are you just kind of like fear mongering stuff? And you know, I've been speaking this message for probably almost 4 years now. If you go back into the Carrot Cast archives, I've been speaking the message for a while. Okay, and the message has been market shifting. As the market gets more competitive, people have more options. We're entering into the trust and credibility economy, and the way that you differentiate is actually with content. The way that you build authority is actually with content. Okay, it's not by putting out more ads. It's not by putting up a new Facebook post every day. Okay, I'm going to show you exactly the type of content that's going to help you win and beat Zillow as an agent or an investor. But this is a new framework I was actually walking through with Max and Maxwell the other day. Guys, if you're popping on the stream, put in the comments section that you're here. Would love to see who's here. But I was walking this through with Max Maxwell the other day, and I started to think about it, going, okay, I really do feel that those who build authority in your niche markets are going to win. It doesn't matter what the big guys do, the tech giants do, Open Door, OfferPad, Zillow, or even the biggest investors in town. If you can own the niches, okay, if you can own the niches. If you look at the way that Carrot grew, so the solution that we have isn't a real estate specific solution inherently. We made it one, but the original idea was that small businesses all across America, the previous decade, had been focusing on just getting online. It was just get online, easy, simple, free, simple, cheap. That was the whole call to arms, get online. And so they did. That's when Wix popped up and Weebly and Squarespace and all of your mom and pop web development shops grew during that time, and GoDaddy blew up during that time. Everyone just had to get online. Now, what we saw in 2012 was, shoot, everybody's online, but they're not really getting results. They're wondering, why do I have this website that looks pretty, but it's not performing? And so we said, you know what? We think the next 10 years is going to be all about performance. We think the next 10 years is all about how do you crack through that clutter that's been created by just a bunch of people getting online, and then rise to the top, attract your best prospects, and then convert them at a high rate and build authority with content, through Google. I really feel that that's where, not just where the market is shifting, but where it is. And then you amplify it on social media, okay? And so we did that, and we said, well, we could do this. Every small business, plumbers need this. Contractors need this, real estate agents need it, real estate investors need it, attorneys need it. And we said the best way for us to grow the business and solve the problem really well, and also have our message crack through, It's to focus on a market. It's to niche down. And so we hyper niched, okay? We hyper niched. And so many agents I talk to and investors I talk to say, I can't niche down. Like, I'm not going to niche down this far. They say if I niche down, I'm going to actually push away business. I don't want to niche so far down. I don't want to create niches on my real estate agent website to where other people are going to go, oh shoot, I can't work with this person because that person is the river homes person or that person is the commercial person. Okay. But what you're actually doing is by not niching, you're putting yourself on the path of commoditization. By not niching, you're putting yourself on the path of your commissions being compressed, your profits being compressed as investors. If you're not niching, you're putting yourself on the path of going through a slow death as an agent or an investor. Okay. And so when we started the niche from day one at Carrot, we said, we're going to own this market. We're going to become an authority in this market. And we're going to build the best solution in this market. Our content's going to be everywhere in this market. We did that. And then we became the fastest growing software company in Oregon, one of the top fastest growing companies in America. And if we would have went broad, we never would have done it. By actually shrinking your box, you can penetrate and become a bigger player in that box. By going into the swim in the ocean rather than a pool, you're hoping that people swim by you. Okay, and that's not going to happen. So how's it going to work with agents? Right here, money and influence. Okay, so the more influence you have, the more earning potential you have. Okay, so as we've grown Carrot, and as some of our clients have really grown their authority, their income actually goes way up. It goes way up. People are willing to pay you more because you're an expert and authority in that topic. People refer people your way all the time because you're an expert and authority in that topic. And you're the first person pops up in people's minds whenever that topic comes up to go, man, I know there's a lot of people that kind of do that stuff, but this person's really good at it, right? So at the bottom level of the influence and the influence earning spectrum is a tactician. Okay, a tactician is going to make some money, but they make the least amount of money. They have the least amount of leverage. They are always getting negotiated on, okay? They're a commodity. Their buddy brings them a thing and says, hey, well, can you list this thing for me? But would you be able to do it for like 2% or 2.5% or 1.5%? Can you do me a favor, right? That's a tactician. They're making money because they have a license. They have a license that puts them between the buyer or seller and the MLS, right? And that's the same thing that happened back in the 1980s and 1990s with the stock market. So if we kind of go into the stock market story, what's up, Mark? What's up, Ian? If we go into the stock market story, y'all, and people might be going, well, Trevor, is this true that this is what's going to happen in the industry? And I like to kind of, I love history and I love story. And I like to go, is there anything that's parallel to what's happening now in previous history that can show us what's going to happen here again? And so I started to do a bunch of research on the stock market. And so in 87, I believe it was, there was a big stock crash. It was actually the largest one-day crash in recorded history up to that point, I believe. It was definitely larger than the one that caused the Great Depression. Largest one drop in even larger than the Great Depression. And this caused havoc, okay? It was just havoc all over the place. And in the 80s, the internet wasn't something that was actually readily usable by mainstream America yet. And so people had to pick up the phone. They had to call the stockbroker. And as the stock market was tanking, they were calling in and trying to make sells. They were saying, sell the stock, sell the stock, sell the stock. And you can find newspaper clipping after newspaper clipping where stockbrokers stopped picking up the phones. Okay, they're like, shoot, if I pick up the phones any longer, I'm going to be out of business here because this is all the stuff that's happening. And so they stopped picking up the phones. And what happened was there was regulation, there was deregulation that was happening after that on both sides of it. And it was the perfect storm where there was a market shift, which was the stock market shift in the late 80s, and technology had caught up with the inefficiencies in it. People are starting to look at this and go, okay, if that can happen where I have to go through this stockbroker, I have to get on the phone with them, I have to make a buy or make a sell. They then have to go do the work. It's going to take a little bit longer time. And then they report back to me what happened. If that's what's happening right now, how do we make this more efficient? And technology stepped in and did it. That's when you saw your E-Trades pop up, your Charles Schwab's pop up. All of those web portals popped up over the next decade that helped people buy and sell stocks more easily. Okay. And what was happening was a lot of people during that phase were saying stockbrokers are dead. The stock industry is dead. That you can find tons of stock clip or tons of newspaper clippings that were talking about that. The stockbroker profession is dead. Okay. And if you guys look at what's happening right now, you guys are probably seeing the same darn thing happen right now with agents, where so many people are making all these claims. I see it every week in Facebook. I see, hey, here's this new company that's offering this really low listing fee. Real estate agents, as we know, are dead. And I see it coming up all the time. Now, I don't believe that's true. And let's look at why. Okay. I'm not a real estate agent. And I'm not saying this just because we have a product that can help real estate agents stand out and build authority. We have a product that can help real estate agents and investors stand out, build authority, and convert more leads online because we see an opportunity. Okay. We're not saying this story because we have a product to sell that product. We have a product because we see the opportunity and how we can actually help you guys do it better. And so back looking at the stock story, what happened was they came in there, and yes, a lot of stockbrokers went out of business. A lot of them did. Okay. But the ones who went out of business were these ones. They were the tacticians. They were the ones who had the license and they were making money because they were the go-between. They weren't adding a lot of value. A lot of the experts started to go out of business as well. Now, what's the difference between an expert and an authority? The next rung up the influence income ladder. An expert and an authority are pretty much the same thing. The only difference between an authority and an expert is more people know that an authority is an expert. Okay, so an expert is someone who knows a lot of information about something. That's probably a lot of you watching this. Hey, I know a lot about this type of wholesaling or flipping or rental properties or these neighborhoods as an agent or my town. I'm an expert. Okay, but being an expert is not enough moving forward. You could survive the past 5 to 10 years being an expert. You were buying leads from Zillow and you were an expert. You just had to show up to those leads, talk the talk better. Okay, and then you be the first one in front of them, follow up with them really fast, right? That stuff worked in the past, and it's still going to work now, but you're going to see it start to work a lot less. What people look for now is authority. Okay, we're in the trust and credibility age, and people start to research the heck out of things, and they're looking for authorities. Okay, authorities are people who know a lot of information about something. They are an expert, but a lot of people know that they're an expert. The top up here is a celebrity expert. And if you guys you guys can think of different people that are on TV, right? Like I think one of them is called Selling Sunset. It's a TV show on one of those channels. These real estate agents selling in Beverly Hills down there. There's other ones like List It or Flip It, and like all kinds of other ones like that, right? And they make a lot of money because they are a celebrity expert. A lot more people know about them. Now you're probably looking at some of them and going, "Man, I know a lot more than." I know a lot more than that person does. I'm a bigger expert in that topic than that person does. Why are they making so much more money than me? They are because more people know that they're an expert. Now, what's the only way that you can build authority? Guys, the only way you can build authority is with content. That's like the only way. And I want you guys to challenge me on this. I want you guys to challenge me on this. Let me know in the comment section below on YouTube, on Facebook, if there's another way to build authority, okay? And I really believe this. Let's recap this now. There's things being disrupted right now on the real estate side between the tech disruptions, okay, and the competition. So we're at the top of a market. A lot more competition and tech disruptions are coming in. You're starting to be commoditized by many of these. It's at the early stages of it, okay? Your commission's probably already starting to get compressed. Where you used to be able to earn 3% commission on one side, you're probably closer to 2.5% in many markets now, sometimes lower. And then that's a path to slow death, because what's going to happen is those tech giants are going to keep on pushing the commission lower and lower and lower, and giving back commission to buyers, giving back commission to sellers. And this right here creates this spiral of death in pricing. And eventually it makes it to where you can't make money as an agent anymore. Okay, that's happening in the gym market right now with the big boxes. That's happening in all types of industries, where it becomes a price war to the bottom. And then the experts in here, you guys as a real estate agent, then can't survive on that income. Okay, and this has happened over and over again. Happened in the stock market too. And I'm going to tell you then how the stockbrokers actually climbed out of that and thrived, the ones who made this shift. Okay, so the only way to do that is with content. Now, one thing that a lot of you guys are probably doing is looking at this going, okay, I'm already posting content on social media. I'm already posting content on Instagram. I'm already posting content on Facebook. And that's great. Like, that's where I am right now, right? That's where a lot of people hang out. You're hanging out on here right now, and you're going, man, cool. I'm going to post content here. People are going to engage in it, and they're going to take action. So I like that type of marketing as well. But here's the problem with it. If that's your primary mode of marketing, whether it's direct mail or cold calling or text message marketing, or going out there and posting a bunch of social media content, that's something that I call hamster wheel marketing. And I know for me, when I really look back at the multiple businesses that we've started here and why I started the businesses, it was so I could have this, so I could have freedom, and so I could build momentum. Positive momentum is when you're in flow. When you don't have positive momentum, you feel like you're stuck. You feel like that's when you can kind of get overwhelmed. That's when you feel like you might have a little bit of like minor depression. Or am I doing the right work? I don't really like my work anymore. Is when you don't have positive momentum. Okay. And then flexibility, freedom, momentum, flexibility, and then you can really make an impact. That's why I started my companies. But the problem I experienced before is my marketing was this boom and bust marketing. It was hamster wheel marketing that you always had to be on the treadmill to make it work. Here's an example. The way social media works is you post a post, and then it's probably got a 24 or maybe 72 hour timeline, right? And then it kind of goes away. At least the results of it go away. Okay. And then you got to make another post, and then you got to make another post, and you got to make another post. You've always got to be posting to make that work. So if you want to go on a month-long vacation, there are automation tools that can happen there, right? But still, that's hamster wheel marketing. The second that you stop doing the marketing, the results start to pitter down to zero. That's not how you build momentum. Okay, that's how you earn yourself a job. Okay, but what I want to do is build a brick wall. And that's what we set out to do with Carrot, and that's what we're helping so many of our clients do. And I should have mentioned this earlier, but we're starting, actually, we just opened up the page today. We're starting something called the 30-day authority building challenge. We have one coming out for agents and one coming out for investors. They're both starting September 3rd. But the Carrot 30-day authority building challenge, we're going to be walking you through my whole model of essentially how you make sure that you're beating the tech giants, how you beat your other competitors in your market, the ones who aren't willing to shift. The way that you do that is becoming a niche local authority. You got to do the things the tech giants can't do and aren't willing to do. The way you become an authority, the only way you can become an authority, guys, and I want you guys to challenge me. If there's another way to become an authority, let me know. The only way you can do that is through content, okay? So now during this challenge, we're going to be showing you guys exactly how to do that. And we're going to make it so it's easy for you. We're not telling you to sit down and write a bunch of articles. That's not what we're telling you to do. We're not telling you to spend hours and hours every week creating content. We're going to show you real world case studies, items every single day. We'll give you like these bite-sized chunks of action items every single day where we'll say, hey, just tackle this day, tackle this day. And there's a motivating video every single day where I'm going to be hopping on and shifting your mindset on marketing, shifting your mindset on your business model every single day for 30 days, and then giving you these bite-sized actions. Our promise and our hope is by the end of that 30-day challenge that you have your first or next 15 leads through your authority, through your content, through your marketing that we're going to be helping you do. And then really building a solid foundation to scale from there. Okay, so just go to carrot.com/authority and then click agent or investor. The agent one is actually open today. The investor one's not going to open until tomorrow or until next week, I think. But let's go to carrot.com/authority. Click the agent button if you're an agent. Probably next week, the investor one will be working. And then join that bad boy. It's only $100, guys. And we're going to be doing weekly live calls. There's a private Facebook group in there. And I'm going to show you some of the results that people got from our first test cohort here in a bit. I was reading one, Catherine Pierpont, she took the challenge and she got a little bit behind on some of the items, but she came through after the challenge finished and started to go through the items. And then yesterday she posted on there, and I'll share it here in a bit. Yesterday was so cool. She posted, I got my first stellar buyer lead. She said that she took that person and saw 2 or 3 houses in 2 days. They made an offer on a property for $330K. And it looks like they're likely going to make that sale. That happened through executing what we're talking about, okay? And there's other results happening too. Awesome, guys. Melissa in here. Melissa says, I'm so glad I did the 30-day challenge. I learned so much. Awesome. And we're going to do it again. We're starting September 3rd. So if you want to do it again, Melissa, and pick up kind of the parts you want to work on more, just go take it again and refer people over. I love it. I love it. So let me wrap this up and we'll answer questions. What I want you guys to do is you cannot bury your head in the sand and ignore the fact that things are changing right now. Okay. If you do that, you're going to be just like the stockbrokers back in the late 80s, early 90s that did that. Okay. They ended up being call center employees for E-Trade, or they went to do the insurance business or whatever it is. Okay. They took that license and either kicked it down the curb and said, I'm throwing this away, I'm not doing anything with it, or they went to be a call center employee. The ones who thrive though, and this is where the story gets good, is the ones who thrive. And this is why we're optimistic. This is why we're going all in on agents, all in on investors this next 5, 6, 7 years, because we see a massive opportunity for you. Where the opportunity is the ones who thrived are the ones who specialize. It's the ones who built authority, okay, on a certain topic, especially locally. It's the ones who decided to go, and that's where you saw your registered investment advisors. You saw your certified financial planners. You saw all that pop up in that next 20 to 30 years. And the market's actually bigger now than it was then. Okay, it's bigger now than it was then because the stock market as a whole grew, the profession grew and matured. Okay, a ton of people did start to go over and buy stocks from E-Trade and Charles Schwab. But here's the deal. The majority of people aren't the people who want to go do a ton of research on stocks. They're the ones who want to go work with an expert. They're the ones who want to go work with someone who knows more than they do and who can guide them through that. And they're willing to pay a little bit more to do that. People know you can go buy stocks cheaper on E-Trade, okay? But they want to go over here and make sure they're working with someone that's an expert on it that can guide them through the process. The same thing is going to happen on the agent side, okay? Okay, people are gonna flock to the tech solutions if they're just looking at price, if they're just looking at, cool, I'm fine, I'm comfortable with the transaction. I've done a lot of these transactions. I'm gonna do my own research. I don't really need their guidance. I just want them to do the transaction for me and they'll take a little cut. Okay, there are gonna be a bunch of people that are gonna be going that way. Okay, and my guess is it's probably gonna take the overall market from about 90% of all homes being sold through agents to probably closer to 70% over the next 20 years. It's not gonna happen immediately, okay? And that 30% is still a massive part of the market. And that's where your iBuyers are going to grow. They're going to struggle. I think there's some things, it's a whole nother call on why I think a lot of their business models flawed and what's going to happen with them. But they're going to grow. A lot of people are going to go to those cut rate tech solutions that have agents on staff. Okay, the ones who didn't make the shift I'm telling you about, that are making $45,000 a year. And they're capped at their rate, just on staff licensed agents, okay? But the ones who are gonna win are the ones who focus on building authority. The way you do that is with content. You don't do it by hamster wheel marketing, by putting out a bunch of Facebook posts all the time. That works, we love that method, but that should only support your evergreen content, okay? What is evergreen content, guys? We're gonna be teaching that in the 30-day challenge. Once again, we're gonna put up the link below. Just carrot.com/authority. That opened up for agents today. The next cohort goes through on September 3rd. But the investor cohort's going to start September 3rd as well. That page will be up here in the next week or so. But what this is here is this. And I'm going to show you guys some examples online here in a second, okay? What we're talking about is building a brick wall that is really the foundation of your marketing moving forward. Is every piece of content that you put out online, and you use our systems to outrank Google and outrank, that'd be amazing if you'd outrank Google. Use our systems to outrank Zillow and outrank Realtor.com and outrank your competitors, which gets you in front of your most qualified prospects in Google, okay? That's where your most qualified prospects are coming from. A lot of agents are really focusing on social and focusing on your offline, which if they work, keep doing those, right? But where you're gonna get the majority of your authority is from Google. That's how Zillow won. Go head to head against them. You can beat them, but you have to do it at the niche level. If you're going to try to outrank them for something like Roseburg Homes for Sale, which is a city, or Brentwood Homes for Sale, that's going to be really, really hard. But if you go a level deeper, and if you go to a certain neighborhood or certain development or certain types of properties, and I'll show you some examples here in a bit, and then you start to have a cadence where you put that out and you do it with video ideally, then you amplify it over here on social. Now you have a three-legged stool, which is this amazing, strong foundation, which is going to help you grow, okay? So guys, carrot.com/authority. Check out the challenge. The investor one will be up here shortly. We're starting September 3rd. I'm driving you to the wrong one. Carrot.com/challenge, guys. Carrot.com/challenge. We'll put it in right here. Carrot.com/challenge. Driving you to the wrong one. Bam, right there. A 30-day authority building challenge, okay? Then choose agent or investor. The investor link will be active here in the next week or so. If you're watching this live, the agent one's active right now. Check that puppy out. So I'm gonna go here. If you can share the screen now, Brady. And this is what I'm talking about, guys. So if you look at the way that a buyer or seller starts to make a decision, okay? The way that they make a decision is this. They first ask friends and family some questions probably, but possibly even before they do that, oftentimes they're actually pulling out their cell phone and doing a Google search, right? So they're going here and going something like this. I'm just going to look at Roseburg. I'm going to go, cool, Roseburg homes for sale. That's what we did when we were buying our home. We just typed that in first. And you usually start at the very high level, okay? And this is what almost every single one of your buyers and sellers are doing, y'all. Not all of your buyers and sellers are on Facebook. Most of your buyers and sellers are not on Instagram. Now, we're not saying not to use those once again. We use them. You should use them too, but they should not be your primaries. Okay, those are hamster wheel marketing. You always have to be posting, this frantic business mode. Okay, the second you stop posting, then you're going to be losing those results and you don't have a stable business. But if you can build off of a stable foundation of the Google traffic and build authority and rank well for everything around your niche, which we're going to show you, then you start to control your own destiny. Then you start to beat Zillow and grab leads from them for free instead of paying them for leads. And you start to grow momentum because every content piece you put up on your website is going to be there for years. Okay, rather than having a 72-hour lifespan on Facebook or Instagram. Every content piece you put up on your website is going to be there for years. The main things I need to walk through with you is to show you how easy it can be when you make this shift to put up the right content that builds your authority in those niches and then actually gets them ranked. And that's what we're really good at here with Carrot. Is we're really good at Carrot at helping you to helping you to build authority through search engines, okay, through Google, helping you to get in front of your highest, most motivated, highest margin prospects more easily without being an SEO expert. A lot of that's because of our tech stack, the way that our technology is built, because of our strategy, the way that our tools are built, things like that. And then we help make all that more easy for you and convert your visitors into a lead at a higher rate. So if I'm looking for a home for sale, okay, in Roseburg, I'm going to type the city first, okay? Then I'm going to start to click things. Usually Zillow is almost always the first ranked person there, okay? The first ranked site. Now, the benefit and drawback of Zillow, of course, is they've came out and said, they said it here recently on an Inman article, that their aim now is essentially to replace the agent. They have said that, and not exactly those words, but they're pretty much saying that their aim now is to replace the agent. Their aim now is to make the agent and the mortgage broker irrelevant in the transaction Zillow is a part of, okay? They're going to force you to kind of come into their fold, be a call center agent for them or something like that. And so if you're continuing to buy ads from them, I'm not saying not to do it, right? Because if it's working for you, keep doing it. Keep doing that and building the business. But as you're going in here and clicking these things, this is where your buyers are going in here and they're seeing people's faces here as like a preferred agent or something like that, okay? A preferred agent, listing agent, whatever it is. So I'm not saying to not use Zillow. I'm just saying recognize how people are going through and doing the searches. And then almost every time your buyers are going to go back to Google, okay? And they're going to go, cool. What else is out here? They're going to look at realtor.com. And one thing that's a big advantage for you real estate agents anyway, is guys, you need to play this one up a lot more, and you do it with content. You need to play up the fact that not every property even makes it to Zillow. Most buyers don't know that. Okay, most buyers have no clue that not every property makes it to Zillow, or many properties are sold before they ever even make it to Zillow, okay? And that's a huge thing, because if buyers knew that, they would always then go find a local trusted authority, a local trusted agent to also look for properties with, okay? And I didn't know that when I was buying my last house. I was always flipping at Zillow. My wife and I, 8 o'clock at night, we'd save some things, and then we'd go check out a couple agent websites and look at theirs, but the search experience wasn't as good. So if you think that you're going to be beating Zillow because your search experience is better, and you're going to go get this amazing real estate agent tool that has a great IDX, I'm just telling you, you're not going to beat Zillow's search experience. That's going to be really hard to beat Zillow's search experience, okay? So make a search experience as good as possible, but the way that you beat them is do things they can't do, which is better content, building better authority at the niche level, okay? So the next thing they're going to do is they're going to click some of these, and then they're going to go, cool, well, I really like this neighborhood in town, okay? So maybe the neighborhood is going to be something like Melrose, okay? Melrose, Roseburg, homes. So look at this, Melrose, Roseburg homes for sale. Google's telling me that people are actually looking specifically for that specific neighborhood. Homes for sale in Looking Glass. That's another neighborhood, a suburb of Roseburg. Okay, homes for sale Melrose Road, homes for sale around Roseburg, homes for sale Green, Oregon. That's another, guys, people are looking in the niches. Own the niches. Okay, you're not going to own the city level search. Where you can own is the niches. So I'm going to do this right here, Melrose homes for sale. Okay, and what you see is this. You see currently ads, so that's a local agent. That's realtor.com. That's Zillow. That's a local agent. They're paying a lot of money to be here. Okay. That's Zillow, realtor, and then a client of ours. Okay. Now this client launched this page is about 2 or 3 months ago, and probably 5 or 6 months, or I'm sorry, about 30 days after that, it wasn't anywhere on page one. It was about 30 days ago that it finally crept on page one. And then they made some tweaks to their page, and now it's just below Realtor and Zillow. And I really have a feeling that it's going to beat Realtor here shortly, and it's probably then going to beat Zillow here shortly, okay? Because they've leveraged our system. They've gone through research. We've researched with them what keywords are your prospects typing in your niches. That's a niche they want to own, is these two developments, these two areas of town, which are kind of higher end, nicer homes. Okay, let's say you want to live on the river, okay, North Umpqua River. Now, some people say, well, that's really niche, right? Like it's really niche. North Umpqua River, homes for sale. Okay, cool. That's the river that we moved on. You guys might have seen this example before, but North Umpqua River homes for sale. So now look at these other searches that Google's telling us that people are typing in, right? Homes for sale on the North Umpqua River, waterfront property, Umpqua River, homes for sale in Roseburg, riverfront homes and Glide. Okay, let's go ahead and click that one now, riverfront homes and Glide. Okay, let's check out that puppy. There's some people bidding for it here. You see your Zillows. There's a local agent right there. And this is a massive opportunity for you. If you're a real estate agent and you're specializing in waterfront homes and Glide, create a page on your website. Make sure it's on a tech stack that ranks well and loads really fast, that is optimized for that. Do you see this right here? They're owning this niche right now. They're ranked #1 in Google, ahead of Zillow. Zillow, this is funny. Zillow didn't have an ad here before. They didn't have an ad here before. It wasn't until the past week, after they've realized that G-Team has been outranking them for over 2 months at #1, that they decided to pay and put an ad there. So if you click this, now you're going to go there and land on a really high performing authority building location page. Now, this is one of the big flaws I see a lot of agents make. And if I were to go back to those search results, okay, let's go back to the search results here, okay? Let's do Roseburg homes for sale, okay? And I'm just gonna click, actually, let's do this right here. Let's do Melrose. Let's go back to the Melrose one, okay? And see if there's any ads up there. The reason I wanna do this is you might be making this mistake if you are a real estate agent right now or an investor, okay? The more niche you can make your stuff, the higher it's gonna convert, and the better you're gonna beat Zillow, the better you're gonna beat your competition. So right here, you can see here's an ad that they're paying for. Here's an ad from a local agent, and here's an ad from another local agent, okay? So there you can see this home searcher specifically looking for Melrose properties. I'm gonna click this though, okay? And Mark, if I see you in person, man, let me know, I'll buy you lunch. Okay, I just cost you $5 or $10 or whatever that click cost you. Let me know, I'll buy you lunch. So what happens is I clicked that. I'm doing a search for a specific neighborhood, but they're driving me to a non-neighborhood specific page. So there's no way that this is going to have the results that it possibly could, because they're delivering a broad result for a narrow niche-based search. The way that you win is let's build authority. Guys, what you want to drive to is do a video series using our video post feature on Melrose homes for sale. 3 to 5 minute videos, okay? You put them up into our video post feature, you upload them to YouTube. Our video post feature yanks those videos down into our website, into your website, into your system. It throws them out there, gets the transcription of the full video, and it emails you a couple hours later and says, hey, your written blog post is done. It automates the whole process, takes it from 40 minutes down to 4 minutes. And here soon we want to take it to 4 seconds, okay? But basically you're taking your expertise. You're building authority by creating videos on those niches. You're uploading them to YouTube using the exact search phrases that you just grabbed from Google, those suggested searches that pop up. You title them something like that. You put it into video posts, and now you're starting to join the conversation in Google. You take that now and post that on social media. Post your video series, your expert video series in social media. Okay, that's what you need to do. And take those videos and upload them natively to Facebook as well. If you do that, you're gonna own those niches. Okay, so if Mark would have instead driven to a niche specific page on Melrose, and it's got a video up there with Mark, and then it's linked up to their 5 or 6 niche video series of video posts in our system that's all about Melrose properties, they're gonna work with Mark because he's the clear authority on Melrose properties. Okay, he's the clear authority. But no one's doing that, and that's gonna take you less than 30 minutes a week to do that, y'all. Less than 30 minutes a week. Okay, so don't pay for any more ads in Google, guys, as an agent, unless you're driving to hyper niche authority building content. That's the way that you win moving forward, and we can help you do that That's part of what our Carrot Authority Building Challenge is going to be doing. Just go to carrot.com/challenge, carrot.com/challenge, and join the next challenge, guys. We have one for agents, one for investors, both starting September 3rd. It's only $100, y'all. So all you have to do is like stop drinking Starbucks coffee for 3 weeks, for a month, whatever that is. Probably not even a month. Okay. Starbucks coffees are what, like $5 a piece. That's probably like stop drinking coffee for 20 days. Okay. 20 days. And invest that money in yourself in our 30-day challenge and pick the agent or the investor one. Just go to carrot.com/challenge. Our whole aim here, guys, is to give you a compressed time frame in 30 days to go, cool. We're going to help you, give you the motivation, the plan, the execution, the instruction, and the coaching in the Facebook group during these 30 days to set that foundation of momentum. And if you want to have your team go in it, have your team go in it. If you want to go in there and do it again, take it again. But I'm so convinced and so convicted that those who go out and build authority through video, through our system, and not just on Facebook and Instagram. Once again, it's not just about getting more content out. It's getting out content that stays and that is evergreen. Evergreen, high converting content is where it's going to be the next 5 to 10 years. If you're not focusing on evergreen, high converting content, you're going to be building a business that you hate. You're going to be building a business that you despise. You're going to be building a business that's easy to take down, honestly. Okay. If you're not focusing on building evergreen content, authority building content, and really building this brick wall, you're putting yourself at the risk. You're putting yourself at the risk of being commoditized and also at the risk of being beat really easily. Someone can take down and copy your Facebook ads pretty quick. Okay. That's something that someone can just, with a bigger budget, beat you on Facebook, because I copy your ads. I go click the little link to see your ads on Facebook, because now Facebook makes all of our ads transparent. I do my own ads that are like yours, and I just come out with you with a bigger budget and I win, right? But what's harder to beat is really focusing on the inbound and Google side, because that takes more patience. That takes more work of stacking bricks versus just hopping on the hamster wheel, okay? So we're gonna help you stack those bricks this first 30 days in the challenge. We're gonna help you start to join the conversation, then own the conversations around your niches in Google. And then you're gonna build some massive momentum, guys and gals, for sure. I love it. I'm gonna dive into some questions if you guys have some questions. But Mark, what's up, Mark? Thanks for sharing this up, man. Appreciate the heck out of it. Guys, let me know if you have any questions. And one thing I want to toss at you guys is this, okay? Like I said, I kind of started the call with this. There's a lot of changes happening, and I think there's an opportunity to be scared, and there's an opportunity to really look at how do you change and pivot. A lot of people are going to be scared that the laws are starting to go down that make wholesaling as it currently is illegal. And honestly, guys, you're going to see a lot more of that. You're going to see a lot more of that. It's something I predicted years ago. It's not a new prediction. I predicted it years ago because as you see this happening, the crunch happen, guys, right? As you see the crunch happening on the retail side because of this. So the retail side has been getting crunched by these guys big time. The tech giants, okay, been getting crunched there big time. And then also the brokerages are starting to innovate on some of the cloud stuff. Let me get rid of this one, do a different one. What's happening is the big lobby of the brokerage, of the real estate broker market that's been around for decades. It's a well-funded lobby. It's a huge industry now. They get scared. And then they start to go to their congressman. They start to use their lobby power to say, hey, all of these threats to us, we need to start to set up these barriers that make it harder, for all of these threats to us to compete. And you see this happen in tons of industries. Okay, Facebook is actually trying to do that right now with creating barriers and regulation and supporting them that make it harder for other social media platforms to launch and compete. Real estate agents are trying to do the same thing right now. The NAR lobby is doing that. That's why that happened in Illinois. It wasn't because wholesalers were really actually harming people in a massive way. You can probably look at real estate agents, and just as many agents were probably harming buyers and sellers as wholesalers were. It was because retail, NAR, saw that. The lobby saw that and said, we need to protect ourselves. We need to start pushing our lobby, pushing our marketing, pushing our lobby dollars to get these laws made to protect our industry. They're seeing the industry starting to have some fractures. Okay, the last 50 years, guys, the reason 90% of homes are sold through the MLS, it's not like the government didn't dictate that you have to list your house in the MLS to sell it, okay? It's a private organization that created a really good solution for decades that helped people sell their house and buy houses quicker. That now is starting to come to the back half of its life cycle, back quarter of its life cycle, and other more innovative solutions are coming in and starting to create fractures in it. That's when you see fear happening. That's when you see the lobbies pushing to get regulations happening. You're going to see that topple more and more in states. And the savvy investors are going to go out there and get your real estate license now or align with the real estate agent right now. Okay, that's what you should be doing. I've been saying that for years. And then the next thing is real estate agents. You should be working with wholesalers and flippers. Okay, you should be working with them, because when you start to see what Keller Williams is doing, and you start to see what some of the other companies are doing, is they're realizing that sellers don't want to list their house on the market. Okay, they don't want to list their house on the market. If you ask 100 out of 100 sellers, they don't want to list their house on the market. They just want to get their house sold quickly for a fair price. Okay. And if they could get their house sold quickly for a fair price through an iBuyer for a fair price that they believe in, then cool. That's what they're going to choose almost every time. That's why they're so overpaying for properties right now, because they're trying to buy market share. They're overpaying for properties. Investors are making fun of them for doing that. Guys, they're smart. They're buying market share. They're trying to buy market share. They're trying to buy mind space. They're going after a land grab. When you look at Uber, you look at Lyft, guys, they so overpaid to penetrate markets where they're losing money massively. Okay, I'm not saying it's a sound model. I'm just saying that's what they're doing. That's their strategy. They know if they can go do a land grab and they'll have to pay a ton of money at the start, then on the end, the winner is going to take the majority of the market. That's what's happening here. Is they're trying to do a land grab right now to see who is going to be the winner. Who's going to be the winner that's going to take the market. Usually in markets like this, there's one leader that takes 40 to 50% or more of the market. Right now, that's not the case. If you look at cereal, if you look at shoes, if you look at cars, if you look at all those, at some point during the phase, the clear leader, a cola, the clear leader usually has between 40 and 50% of the market. The rest of everyone splits up the rest. Okay, that's what's happening right now. That's why they're out. That's why they're overpaying for properties, guys. They're trying to buy the market. Okay, and they have a ton of money behind them to do that. And so you on the wholesale side, if you're in a state that might have some regulations coming down, start to work with agents or just be proactive and get your darn license. Okay. If you're on the retail side, you need to be working with these people over here, because if the middle people are offering a service you can't compete with, you should be showing up to your closings to your listing appointments with offers. Hey, these are from 3 reputable house buyers in town. Here's 3 cash offers, and then work with those darn house buyers. How you get a split there? Okay, that's where the future is going. All right, that's why Keller Williams Investor. Right, guys, look at my podcast 2 years ago. I was saying this 2 years ago. This would happen. Okay, the next, you need to focus on building authority. Remove yourself from being a commodity. Build evergreen content, stuff that's going to be up for years. It's going to be building this massive momentum machine for you. Get off of the hamster wheel, or at least know that the hamster wheel is not a long-term solution to get you where you want to go, to get you freedom, to get you momentum and flexibility. Okay, and join our darn challenge. Okay, go to carrot.com/challenge, guys. We've got one for agents coming up, one for investors coming up the month of September. Every day, 30 days, bite-sized chunks of action items. We're going to be walking you through how to go and beat the big dogs and become one yourself. What's up, Craig? Craig says, I love that you share wisdom, guidance, and advice here. Thanks, buddy. I love it, man. Awesome, guys. Hit me with any questions if you have any. If not, I'm going to wrap for the day. And I've got an amazing podcast, 2 amazing podcasts I'm recording here in the office today. One with David Brown. And one thing I'm so pumped about David is he did this. Okay, he did this. And he posted, you're going to see this in the challenge, actually. One of the first couple of days, I post the case study. He decided, okay, well, everyone else is doing all this other stuff. Everyone else is doing all this direct mail and doing all this cold calling, all this RVMs. Those things all work, right? They all work. I'm not saying they don't. But I'm saying when you do those exclusively at the expense of something that builds momentum, you have to consciously make the decision that if and when that marketing channel changes, then your business is going to massively get impacted. Okay, you have to have things that build momentum that are going to be evergreen for you. When you send out a direct mail blast of 20,000 pieces, is that direct mail blast you sent out this week of 20,000 pieces, is that going to drive your business in 5 years? That exact blast? No, you've got to keep on doing it. You've got to keep on doing it. You've got to keep on doing it. Okay, so do that since it's working for you, or if it is, but don't do it at the expense of this right here. David Brown built a wall. He focused on creating content. He focused on building authority in his market in New York. He focused on outranking the top competitors, outranking the national guys, outranking everybody. And he just followed our system. He did exactly what we're going to be teaching in the Authority Building Challenge. And actually, he didn't even do it all. He did like 60 or 70% of the plan. Okay. He did like 60 or 70% of the plan. The other 30% is stuff that we've been innovating on the last year and a half that he just didn't even need to do. So if you even do the extra 30%, you're gonna be crushing it, y'all. Really building authority. So he took that and now he's outranking everyone. He's sitting back and he's like, well, I could scale the business up and do a lot of deals, but I really want to focus on this. I want to focus on freedom. I want to focus on momentum, positive momentum. I want to focus on flexibility. I want to focus on making an impact. And so he decided to lease out his whole site for multiple 5 figures a month. Guys, he isn't doing almost any work on the real estate side now, but he makes multiple 5 figures a month doing nothing. Okay? That right there is what you're doing here. If he would have been posting on Facebook and Instagram, that's his main model, and sending out direct mail pieces, he'd still be a full-time wholesaler right now. Instead, he doesn't wholesale at all, and he makes 5 figures a month doing almost nothing because he focuses on that. Okay, so that podcast is coming out soon. Anthony Beckham, Carrot Camper, both these guys are Carrot Camp alumni. We've got the next Carrot Camp coming up in 3 weeks. I'm excited. Anthony Beckham is coming here to the office. We're going to be talking about him as an agent and investor. So he's one of the ones I was telling you about before. He's an agent first. Okay, he made a few hundred grand his first year as an agent. He's 21, 22, 23. He's really young. I think he's 21 years old. Okay. He was just hustling, doing a lot of content through Facebook and cold calling. It works. Do that stuff. But now he's coming to us saying, man, I'm just working so many hours. I'm working 6-7 days a week. How do I make it to where I can work fewer hours but get a better result? Well, you do that with momentum. Okay, you do that with momentum. You do that by stacking bricks instead of hamster wheel marketing. Hamster wheel marketing works. It's just you have to decide if that's what you want to do for your life. So now he's focusing on building authority. Okay, specializing in this market. He's going to be doing it with content, and he closed his first wholesale deal right after Carrot Camp for $13,000 in a small town of 25,000 people. People say it can't be done, and he did it. All right, so it's cool. Michael, what's up, man? Michael James says, okay, I'm listening. Is Carrot also CRM? Awesome question, man. So Carrot has a lead manager. We have a lead manager in place where you can, let me share my screen real quick, Brady. Share that screen, then we'll wrap this puppy here. So let's look at this. Sell now, homebuyers.com. Let's pull up this one. So Carrot has a lead manager in here, okay? And this lead manager essentially does this. Is when you log into Carrot, now this is one of Dave Brown's sites here, okay? So these are all sellers right here. There's all motivated house sellers. And so many people on the agent side of things, buyers are easy to get, but everyone's like, oh my gosh, yeah, how do you get house sellers? Guys, that's what we've generated more of than anything else the past 5 years. Over 3 million leads online, and the majority of them are motivated house sellers. So if you're an agent or an investor, guys, this is where it's at, okay? We do it through inbound through Google. So you log in, you can see your basic stats. You can schedule up our automated content posts, okay? And then you can go in here and see more detailed stats in here, break it out by time period. But you can see the majority of his traffic is from organic search, okay? He's got a little bit from direct, that's people typing in his domain directly. And then he's got a little bit of social media, okay? And you can see the majority of his traffic is coming in on his local pages for the specific cities that he's going after. Now let's go ahead and hop over here to this. We do have a lead manager. We also integrate with a lot of other lead management systems. So if you use Podio, or if you use LionDesk, or if you use Follow Up Boss, or if you use any of those InvestorFuse, then it's going to integrate with this right here. Okay, so this lead came in. You can add notes in here. You can move it to follow up, move it to pending, move it to one, make the deal dead, the whole thing. Let me bounce back and show you one that filled out multiple entries. So let's say this person here, this lead came in not too long ago. It shows you it's from a Google search. Right there, it's a Google search. It came in, they filled out the first form, the first qualifying form at 9:34. They filled out the second qualifying form 2 minutes later. You can come in here and edit any of these after you hop on a call with them. If there's any types of things you need to adjust, go ahead and adjust them in there. You can type in whatever notes you want to type, okay? And then there's just all kinds of cool information here. So right here, you can then add your notes and the whole shebang. Let's go ahead and bounce back again. Check out another one here. This one here, same thing. You can check it out. It shows it came from a Google search, okay? You can see the notes. We actually pipe in Zillow data on these as well on different screens. Next, you can track your rankings. So One of the things that I've heard from a mentor of mine a long time ago is what's not measured can't be moved. So if you really wanted to go out there and beat Zillow or beat your competitors in rankings, guys, you can do it. Like beating Zillow is completely doable right now if you niche down, if you create better authority and content than them, which we're going to teach you in the 30-day challenge. So this one here, you can see that's a ranking that he's looking to go after, and you can see he's had the #1 position, it bounced down, then it bounced back up right there for him. So it's going to show you how to make your website rank higher, the whole thing. Okay, campaigns. If you're doing social media campaigns or paid ad campaigns, you can go in here and you can create a campaign tracking link. Okay, so let's say you want to create a new campaign tracking link. You just go ahead and go, cool, this one is going to go to a page on my website. It's going to be linking to this specific page, and it'll bring up his page list here in a second. My Wi-Fi is a little slow. This is a PPC ad, and it is on Facebook. And then you click create campaign link, and what it's going to do, it's going to give you a special tracking link. So then any social media posts you make, if you're an agent and you're posting properties on Facebook, use a campaign tracking link, because the campaign tracking link is actually what's going to show you how many people actually clicked that social post of yours to that property, how many people converted into leads from that social post. It shows it all right there. Okay, there's a lot of other features there. Design, you can hop in here and check out design stuff. Users, there's a lot of other features in here too, guys and gals. One that's really cool though, I'm going to show you, is video posts. And video posts is a feature we've pioneered. We pioneered the automated content system as well 5 years ago. Now, since then, a lot of other systems have emulated and copied our feature there. But as far as this one here, video posts, we're the first in the industry to do this. First that I know anywhere to do this. But let's say you want to do, you take your YouTube video, okay? That YouTube video that you just filmed, a niche piece of content. You take that niche piece of content, and let's go ahead and grab YouTube. Refresh on me. You take that niche piece of content, y'all. We're just going to go and grab this pentatonic song and pretend that that's our YouTube thingy here. No, that's radio. I want to get like a real YouTube video. Well, let's grab Brennan Burchard. Brennan Burchard's always motivating. We'll do a video post with Brennan Burchard. Okay. So right here, add new post. We grab that video that we just did on a niche. Okay. Select video post, enter the URL, and then we automatically import that video right in from YouTube. And then from there, there's gonna be a big button here for you that you push the button, and our system then makes a written article for you, yanks all the words out of it, and then it sends it back to something like this. So if I were to go to Google and type farmland Roseburg as an example, you're gonna see the #1 result in Google is actually G Styles. I don't know if this matters, but the TV went off though. The #1 result in Google is actually G Styles right here, okay? So G Styles, y'all, is the #1 result in Google, and it's with a video post. It's a 3-minute, 26-second video that helped them crush it. Cool. Awesome, guys. We're going to wrap this up. I've got a podcast or two to film. But, guys, make sure you recognize the shifts that are happening. Yes, Michael, the video post feature, man, is awesome. Awesome. Do one of those every week in your niches. You're going to crush it. But go to carrot.com/challenge. Join the challenge. It starts here in a couple of weeks. We're excited to have you guys there. carrot.com/challenge. So guys, have an amazing rest of the week. Look out for the podcast with David Brown and Anthony Beckham. We'll talk soon, guys. See ya.